So we're going to talk about Earth's mightiest hero, Captain Marvel, in pursuit of flight. What's kind of interesting, though, is that this really doesn't seem like to be a story about Captain Marvel, but more about Ms. Marvel, and I actually like Ms. Marvel. It's Carol Danvers. Yes. One of my favorite superheroes ever. I really like superheroes like this. They're complex. They're not just your normal everyday superhero. They have a little bit more depth. They're a little bit less two-dimensional. But we do get to have some time with Captain Marvel and Mrs. Marvel, and we kind of work their way through how the process goes and then learning how to fly. And I actually really kind of like that. The cover art is just really good. I think they did a good job here. You know, so we get Miss Marvel. She's been unmasked. We now know that she's Carol Danvers, and life is good. And then we start in on the first bit where we kind of get a little backstory about how and what and where and when Captain America and Ms. Marvel were going through. They're fighting this big, huge guy. They're doing their thing. They're just tearing people apart. And again, look at the lettering. Look at the coloring. Look at the way this thing has been drawn. It looks like something out of an action movie, which is like really super hot. So I think they did a really good job on this one. And again, you can see this for yourself when you're looking at the video. And you know, again, it's just kind of interesting how they kind of came and approached this. I think she's a little bit more realistic in her portrayal. She looks like your regular kind of athletic girl, which is great, right? They didn't like make her completely crazy. And I really appreciate that as well. Again, the idea of bringing a little bit of realism into the whole process and how we draw and how we work this thing through. Again, just really kind of made my day on this one. So it was kind of cool where you get her, Ms. Marvel, and you get Captain America, and they're teaming up against this bad guy, and they're doing their thing. And there's a little bit of things in here that are kind of cringeworthy as you kind of go through it. But it is really just kind of neat how they take down as a team, you know, the superhero and blah, blah, blah. And then you kind of get into the backstory after the whole thing's done. All right, they won against the bad guy, huzzah. But then you start getting into the backstory, and that's where this comic book really shows its strength. And you get in that backstory after the unmasking, we find out who she is, and now she's got to kind of figure out, what do you want to do with your life? Okay, you've been this masked superhero, you've done all the things, and now who are you? And I think that's probably the real strength of this comic book, is you really do get that backstory. You get a little bit of humanity in here. It's not just someone beating the tar out of someone else, but you really do kind of get that feel for who, all, what, when, where, why, and how. And how do we transition from being anonymous to being in the public eye? We see this a lot nowadays, especially with social media, in terms of how we try to communicate that there's more to us than just our Instagram profile. And that's why I really kind of dig on this book. I actually really enjoyed it, and I think it's really kind of a special one in a lot of ways. So I think that they really did a great job on this in terms of how they approach this. It's very real. It's a lot of fun. And you kind of get the idea, you know, well, would I make the same choice, or would I make a different choice? So again, I think that's where we kind of come across on this one. And I think that's really where we want to kind of go with other comic books, right? This is what you see in the independent market a lot. So they're taking a lot of the tropes and ideas from the independent market a lot of investigation. Who am I? What am I? You know, when you see the things like Wet Moon, you know, how do I adjust? How do I cope when my world completely changes around? So again, I cannot speak highly enough of this comic book. I think they did a really good job of it. It's called Captain Marvel, but again, the storyline is really the premises about Miss Marvel and how she works her way through being unmasked and how she learns to do all the things and how she decides who she's going to be and what she wants to be and what she's really about. So again, making this a little bit more real and a whole lot more fun. I really suggest picking up this comic book. It's definitely worthy. So this is YouTube, and this is Comics Forge on YouTube. So of course I want you to do all the YouTube things. I want you to subscribe and like and comment and keep your comments clean, because I'm sure that someone's going to disagree with me on how Miss Marvel is like this super awesome character. So come on, bring it on. I'm ready. Well, okay, to God, you shouldn't say that for YouTube. Don't bring it on. Just kind of like let me know what you think, and we'll be good. So again, subscribe, like, comment, and we'll be like good to go. Thanks so much for watching. You have a great day.